Hi, I'm Brock with New Age, and today I'm going to show you how to assemble a 6301 knockdown bun pan rack. We'll start with the tools needed. Required is a 9/16 wrench, a 7/16 inch wrench, or a 7/16 inch socket on a ratchet, which I prefer to use. Some of the parts that you will receive is our Kdi Beam. You'll have 4 of these parts, and they are installed in the top sections of the rack. At the bottom, you will have a crossbar angle. This is bolted in to the bottom of the pan rack between the sides. Here we have a reinforcing channel with a 3/8 bolt. These will be used to thread through the sides of the pan rack into the Kdi Beam. The carriage bolts and nuts will be used to bolt on the angle crossbar. Here are our casters. This is a stem caster that will be installed into the bottom of the pan rack. The sides have a top and bottom. The top is shown here with a plastic cap and our 3/8 hole at the top. The middle shows a 3/8 hole also, and then all the way at the bottom we have our insert for our caster, as well as on the angle has a square hole for the carriage bolt with the angle crossbar. We'll stand our sides up and spread them out approximately 18 inches apart where this Kdi Beam will fit. We'll start with our middle Kdi Beam. The Kdi Beam is installed with the flat side pointing towards this angle. We put our 3/8 bolt through the side and thread into the Kdi Beam. Once you have those threads started into that Kdi Beam, you can grab your other one, put it through your other side. Once those are started, it will hold those sides up and it's a little easier to manage. Notice that the Kdi Beam is actually positioned so that the flat side is up and the I-beam portion is facing outwards. We have positioned this so that our angles are to the inside, which is where your bun pans are going to rest on those. Next, we move up to our top Kdi Beam. Once again, our flat side is pointed towards the top of the pan rack. We install our 3/8 bolt into the side of that Kdi Beam. We move to the other side and start that bolt in the other end of the Kdi Beam. We'll now get an angle crossbar and we'll move to the bottom. We'll start this with a carriage bolt through the angle and start your lock nut on the bottom side. The crossbar angle is positioned underneath of the angle that holds the bun pan. Another carriage bolt through the crossbar angle and start that nut on the bottom side. Since we have all of our bolts started, we can now get our 9/16 wrench and tighten the bolts into the Kdi Beam. The Kdi Beams set the width of the frame, and once you tighten that up, it will square up the rack. We move to the top and tighten the top, keeping our Kdi Beam with the flat spot on the top. Here's where I'll use my 7/16 socket. I come to the bottom and I will tighten the nuts on the bottom side into the carriage bolts that hold the crossbar angle. Now I'm ready to flip it over so that I can get to the other bolts. Carefully turn it on its side, and then onto its back. And now we're going to repeat the process for the other side. Next, we'll install the casters. The casters are a stem caster with a grip ring. The inserts have a hole in which you press the caster directly into, and the casters insert into the bottom of the rack like that. Once the casters are installed, you can stand it up and your pan rack is ready to use. For more information, visit newageindustrial.com.